Just doing a bit of magic spelling, a little bit of jiggery pokery, a bit of hickledy pickledy, a bit of abracadabra this, and other bits of magic that wizardy stuff that I do. What a gorgeous day it is. What do you think, Runestar? Do you think it's a lovely day as well? Well, no answer from you. You're a horse after all. I must look into a spell to try and see if I can find a way of talking to you. That'd be kind of cool. And I know it can be done. There's another chappie, some chappie that went around places and killing monsters and stuff in this strange land. He had a horse as well, and he used to talk to it apparently, and it answered him. Well, so maybe we should figure out a way of making you speak to me. That's a funny noise coming from my porter messenger thingy over there. Again, I must think of a decent name for that. I've got no name. I wonder who it could be. It's making an awful noise. That must mean someone's trying to get through to me. I can see the stone at the top is all lit up, so someone's obviously trying to get a message to me. I wonder who it could be. I wonder if it's that young Kendrick. I don't know. I don't know. He was somewhere, I think, doing his coffees. I don't know. Let's see who it is, shall we? Hello, good morning, Tantilus. Fancy seeing you here. I thought you'd be busy fighting things in your village and saving it from more things that attack your village where you come from. What brings you here to my humble abode and leave a message for me? Hello, Mr. Wizard, sir. It would seem I'm in a bit of a predicament. It's a predicament that I'm not entirely sure how to deal with, I must admit, and I'm going to need some help with this. It's a rather disturbing situation, to be quite honest with you, Mr. Wizard. Oh, really? What could have possibly happened? You know, it must be pretty random and pretty, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Must be pretty bad if you have to come all the way to this world to speak to me and get some help from me, a lonely, busy body, magic-y type wizard person. Very busy, you know, very busy doing spells and healing people and making potions and stuff like that, and you know, wizardy stuff, if you know what I mean. Yes, I do know what you mean. I do apologise for disturbing you, Mr. Wizard. I have no doubt that you're a very busy man indeed. But this is a kind of very grand problem which is going to need multiple people to help me resolve it, I believe. So yes, if you could see your way to help me, I would be most appreciative. And as we are new friends as well, I thought the best thing to do, as I've not had friends before, I can't really think why, but there we go. That's the way it has been until now. I thought I would bring in some friends for this little trip that I have. Well, it's not a trip at all. It's not even going to be remotely like a trip. In fact, it's not going to be fun at all because it's rather sad, really, and I'm quite concerned. It's for my dear little sister. She's been taken kidnapped, and I really need some help in finding her. If you could see you well to do that, Mr. Wizard, I would be most appreciative. Oh, Tantilus, my friend. I'm sorry to hear that, Tantilus. It's quite disturbing. I'm sorry to hear that your sister has been taken. That's quite worrying, I'd imagine, for you indeed. And you've only just recently managed to save your village from that pink humongous thingy thing that we defeated last time we spoke. So yes, I can see this is quite disturbing for you indeed. Yes, and you know, actually, yeah, of course, I'd be more than happy to help you rescuing your sister. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be smashing, I think. I can cancel the rest of my appointments for today to do that, and what I'll do is I'll try and get hold of young Kendrick as well, and see if we can get him to come along and help us out as well, and that might be useful, I think. Don't you? Yes, we'll get some help, and we'll go see if we can rescue your sister for you. That's fine. Of course, Tantilus. I'd be more than happy to help you with that, Tantilus. Yes, indeed. Mr. Wizard, that would be most agreeable. I can't imagine how much of an inconvenience it is for a busy wizard like you to be whisked off on another mission to rescue somebody who you don't really know. But yes, if that would be fantastic. If you could get young Kendrick to come along as well and help us, that would be fabulous. The more the merrier is what I say. And obviously with more than the two of us, there's a good chance as well that we will have a more successful chance of rescuing my dear sister. So yes, do please get young Kendrick to come along. And besides, I'd like to see how well his sword skills are coming on. We have practiced a few times since we last met up together, so hopefully during those times of training with myself he's improved his sword skills quite a lot. Although I probably find that very hard to believe, being as he's someone who makes coffee. The coffee maker, Kendrick. He must be busy making coffees for everybody and not practicing his sword skills, but you never know. Hopefully he's found time to do that. I'm sure, yes, I'm sure he has. I'm sure. Okay, I'll send him a message and we'll get straight over to you and we'll go and see if we can get your sister back for you. That's perfectly fine. Yes, we'll be there as quick as I possibly can. Yes. See you quite soon. Yes, thank you, Mr. Wizard. That is good news. I will be off now. I haven't, as much as I would like to stand here all day in this portal talking to you, I have obviously to make preparations for our journey. So yes, I shall see you at the stone in the village that we met before for the first time, okay? Speak to you soon and see you in a bit, Mr. Wizard. Of course, yes, absolutely, Tantilus. See you soon. Yes, indeed. Now then, Mr. Owl Thingy on the bookcase there. Now, what I want you to do is some magic now. You're going to magically leave the picture and you're going to go find and locate young Kendrick, see where he is, because we need his help today. And with this mission that we've got to go and help young Tantilus to rescue his sister. So yes, if you could just fly off now and find young Kendrick, that would be marvellous, and we can get cracking then and off. And yes, and then I can get prepared, ready to travel on this mission and help our friend Tantilus. So yes, thank you, Mr. Owl Thing, little owl picture. Off you go and go find Kendrick. Brilliant. Thank you. Yes. And to the wizard's amazement, the owl in the picture disappeared on its way to find young Kendrick to help him on this new mission to go rescue Tantalus' sister. There you are, young Kendrick. Yes, great. Thank you very much for coming. I didn't know where you might be today because you're out busy being a mobile barista and selling your coffees and serving everybody coffees. So yeah, I didn't know where you'd be. So I'm kind of glad that the owl thingy found you, which is great. Oh, hello again, Mr. Wizard. I'm so pleased to see you again. It does seem like quite a while since we've last spoken to each other. I hope you're okay. And when you said that you needed my help, I came as quick as I possibly could, because I know it's very important when you call me for help, and I don't want to let you down. And obviously you need my help on this new mission. So tell me, Mr. Wizard, what is it we're doing today? Where do we have to go? Well, Mr. young Kendrick, it's quite an important mission we've got to go on today. You remember our friend Tantilus? Oh yes, Tantilus, the elf from the village that we saved from the pink humungumus last time we were together. That's the man, isn't it? Him? Yes, that's correct. Yes, of course. Yes, that was it. Yes, that was right. Well, he's just spoken to me through my magicy portally type thingy over there. Yes, and he's asked for help today because apparently his sister has found herself in a spot of bother. She's gone. Well, she's been kidnapped apparently. Which is quite disastrous, really. To if you imagine having your sister kidnapped and taken from, must be quite a nasty thing. Difficult for me to imagine being an only child as it is. Oh yes, Mr. Wizard, I can totally appreciate that. It must be awful for dear Tantalus to be missing his sister. I too, like you, wouldn't know how that feels because I don't have a sister either, or a brother for that matter. I'm only I'm an only child as well, so I know exactly what he must feel like. So it's really important that we help to help him on this mission and get his sister back so that they can be reunited. Of course, Mr. Wizard, I totally agree, Mr. Wizard. Well, yes, indeed. Okay, so yes, we'll need to make some preparations and get going. So if you've got that sword thing of yours, oh yes, Mr. Wizard, I keep it with me all the time. It's outside in my van, which is parked just outside the towers. I can go and collect that in a moment. Yeah, it's jolly good, yes, just in case. I don't want to encourage violence, but you never know. We don't know what we're going to be facing and what's going to be going on, so we probably need to make sure we're protected. Absolutely, yes. I might even take one of my magical swords as well, just as backup. Never know, might come in handy. Oh yes, sir. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea, Mr. Wizard. You must take extra protection just in case. I know you're a powerful wizard and you've got lots of powerful spells, but you never know. You might need to use a sword to hurt some people that are getting a bit too close and that your magic doesn't work on. So you do need to take a sword, absolutely. Now I make sure I got mine taken as well, and I want to show Tantilus how much I've been practicing as well, because I have been practicing in between making coffees for everybody, so that's been really good. Yes, good. Tantilus was worrying about that. He was wondering if you've carried on your practice. He's quite keen to see how you're getting on with your sword skills. Absolutely, yes. Oh, that's good to know. I'll be happy to show him as well. Okay then, Mr. Wizard, if you give me a moment, I'll just go out to my van and I'll pick up my sword and I'll be right back in a minute and then we can get going. Is that's okay? I just wanted to say I do like what you've done to the place, by the way. It's very different to the last time I was here. You've redecorated, is that right? Yes, indeed, I have indeed. Yes, I've been able to add a few things with my magic and put it around the place, and it's looking rather nice. The only thing I don't have is a chair. I really should consider buying a chair or for me to sit on when I'm reading at night, because I don't have a chair right now. So yes, so that's something I need to do, but that's beside the point. You go get your sword, then young Kendrick, and we'll be off, and I'll explain to you how we're going to get there, because obviously we don't need to take that great big stone that we've always been carrying around with us, because it's a bit of a nuisance really. But there we go. Yes, we'll talk about that in a minute. Good. Good. Good to see you, Kendrick. You've got your sword then ready. That's good, Kendrick. You've got your sword then. So let's get going. So now, what we're going to do, just to explain, because this is a new way of transporting. As you know, the last time we were together, we used that stone up there, up the top there, on my black kind of table-y thing, stand thing, but it's a big stone, as you can probably see, so it's a bit of a pain having to carry it around with us. So I thought to myself, since we've last spoken, it might be worth trying to harness the magic power from that stone and using it for portable use and in a better, more friendly way. So I've come up with this wonderful spell which kind of, what it does is it puts a portal on the ground, and we just step in the portal and we disappear to wherever we decide we want to go to, wherever we tell it we want to go to. So yes, that's the way we're going to do it, so rather than us having to carry that stone around, because it's just a nuisance. Oh, Mr. Wizard, that's a wonderful idea, Mr. Wizard. I must admit, I was thinking last time we were together that stone is rather big, and it's such a pain to carry around everywhere we go. We needed to find a new way of transporting ourselves, so I think that's wonderful. It just shows just how clever you are as a wizard, and you've been able to put it into a spell, and we can now transport it without taking it with us. That's just really, really good, Mr. Wizard. I'm very impressed, and I do like your blue icy sword that you have as well. That's lovely. So yes, I think we're ready to go, aren't we now? Yes, indeed, I think we are too. So yes, let's step into the portal. If you want to go there first, young Kendrick, and you'll be, and I'll follow you afterwards. Okay? Okay, Mr. Wizard. If you're sure it's safe. Oh yes, don't worry, it's safe. Don't worry about that. I'm a very clever wizard. I've made sure it's safe to travel this way, so you'll be just fine. So yep, off you go then, Kendrick, and I'll see you at the other side. Okay? Okay, Mr. Wizard. See you there. Oh, Mr. Wizard, I've got to say that was perfectly much better way of travelling via portal. We got here safe and sound, no aches or bakes or anything like that, no pain or anything like that, like what we do when we portal. That was absolutely fantastic. It was a much smoother way of travelling from one world to the next, don't you think, Mr. Wizard? Yes, indeed. Well, I knew it would be. As I said, I'm a clever wizard. I'm magic, and I worked it out, and I spent weeks trying to master it and perfect it. So yes, I knew it was going to work, and it was going to be just fine and safe as well. So yes, I'm glad that we're here. Now, so let's see where young Tantilus would be waiting for us, so that we can meet up and see where we need to go. Okay, so yeah, I can't see him at the moment. Can you see him anywhere at all, Kendrick? Oh, I don't believe I can, Mr. Wizard. Not at the moment. I'm sure he'll be here very soon. If we just wait a minute and see, and I'm sure he'll be along quite soon. He won't be long. If he said he's going to be here, does he? And he knows that we're coming. Is there any way we can let him know that we're here, do you think? I don't know. I'll have to think. Let me think. Maybe I can do a mind spell, and maybe I can contact him telepathically and see if he can know that we're here, and let him know that we're here. Because I think that might be the best way to do it. Actually, thinking about it, he won't know otherwise. Oh yes, Mr. Wizard, that's probably a good idea. I'll let you do that. Let's see if that will work and get him to come here as soon as possible. Oh look, Mr. Wizard! It appears that your telepathy spell worked. He's there. He is. Look, he's right here by this little tree. Look, wait, and ready to meet us. That's really good, Mr. Wizard. It worked, your spell, and he obviously heard your message. Well, yes, indeed. Good thing really is, because we could be waiting around forever really for him to turn up. So it's probably a good thing that did work, isn't it? Indeed. Anyway, we're here now, Tantilus, and thank you for coming and meeting us. It's very kind of you. Yes, thank you both for showing up. Young Kendrick the coffee maker, it's very good to see you again, and I can see that you have brought your sword with you, and I understand that you're practicing, is that correct, between making coffees? Oh yes, Mr. Tantilus, sir, I'm practicing as much as I possibly can when I'm not working. I'm coming on very well, and hopefully I'll be of great use on this mission with you today. I'm sure you will be, Kendrick. You have been trained well with the sword, and if you're practicing as well, then that's good to know. As you can see, I too have brought a sword with me today, a special elven sword, just in case, because I don't quite know what we're going to be up against, but it's certainly not going to be friendly, I'm afraid. Well, that's a good job, really. That's why I bought my sword as well, because I had a feeling when you mentioned that we were going to go on a rescue mission that it was going to be a tough one, and that it wasn't going to be easy to rescue your sister. So yes, it's all good job, really, that we're all fully armed and ready to go. So where have we got to go to, Tantalus, to find your sister? Well, that's the thing, see, I don't have a clear indication of where it is. I have just been told that we need to go north to a little fortress. I don't know what the name of the fortress is. I think it's called Zodiac Fortress or something like that. It's strange, I've never heard of it before, but it's an old abandoned elven fortress that was once very much alive with my people. But of course, as so many things have happened in this country, they were wiped out and attacked, and they no longer have ownership of the fortress, which is a shame. Oh no, that's horrible. You seem to be still having lots of troubles here in this wonderful world of yours that's full of elven people. You just seem to be getting attacked all over the place. Is there anything you can do to stop it at all, do you think? I don't know, young Kendrick the coffee maker. We're doing our very best to fight off the threats, but they seem to be growing in numbers each day. But then what can you expect? We are fighting against mutant vegetable people, so it's not surprising, really. Sorry, mutant vegetable people? What do you mean by that? Not animals or soldiers that are attacking you? No, Mr. Wizard, it's not at all people, thank goodness. Because as I said before, there are no people on this land apart from us elven folk. We are the only human type, or humanoid creatures that live here. Humans do not live here, thank goodness, because otherwise, no offence, Kendrick the coffee maker, but you would just make a mess and get in our way. Oh, that's okay, Tantilus, I understand completely. I'm not offended, and I know how much trouble humans can be, and I could only see it daily, and where we live, it's terrible what we're doing to the world. Yes, indeed. So you can imagine it's probably best that you don't bring other humans to this area, apart from yourselves. as you're the only two humans that we are happy to see in this realm, so we do appreciate that very much. But back to the problem, my sister, as I say, she is tied up in Zodiac Fortress, so we have to travel to there this afternoon. I don't quite know when we're going to get there. It could take a few hours, could take a few minutes. It depends mostly on what we have to face on the way. As I said, we are travelling through wild forests and jungles and tracks. Could be all kinds of dangers and ambushes awaiting us from the mutant vegetable people. Oh, okay, Tantilus, I'm sure we'll be fine. The three of us can look after ourselves and protect ourselves and keep ourselves safe from these vegetables. I'm sure we'll be fine. These vegetable mutants won't have much to worry. We'll have too much to fear from the three of us, I should think. Indeed, Kendrick, the coffee maker, I do like your confidence, and that's good to know. When I last saw you, you were not as confident as what you are now. That gives me courage indeed. Indeed, well, let's, if we've got to travel some way, then let's not waste time just standing here gabbing. Let's get started and get travelling on this journey then, and go find your dear sister. Okay, Tantilus? Indeed, we will do that. By the way, just in case you're wondering, this tree, as you may have noticed, is a new addition to this little area. I put it here specially for you guys as a meeting place with me. So whenever you do come to our realm, if you want to meet me, this is the meeting point, this little tree here, and we can meet up here anytime you wish. That's fine, Mr. Wizard. Okay, let's get cracking then. As I say, we have a lot of journey to travel, and hopefully we can get there soon and rescue my dear sister, who's in all kinds of trouble, I've no doubt. Oh, okay, Tantilus, I'm ready when you are. Are you ready, Mr. Wizard? So let's get going then, shall we? Indeed. Oh, yes, let's get going. Absolutely. Let's get this sorted out. Okay, lead the way then, Tantilus. Show us where we need to go first. Well, sadly, as it turned out, the three friends, the journey they thought would only be a few hours long was actually a lot longer than they expected. They didn't realise just how far away this fortress was, the Zodiac Fortress. Tantilus had said as well at the beginning that he didn't really know where it was, just that it was quite a long way away, so it wasn't really their fault. But it turned out that this was going to be a much longer journey than they planned, so they had to set up camp for the night, and they made sure that they had a nice campfire burning so they could cook something to eat. And Tantilus had already been out and he'd cooked and done some hunting and found them some meat, so they'd eaten on some meat. They carefully avoided vegetables though, just in case it was mutant vegetables. Well, it was a disaster really. Taking longer than we thought, I'm assuming. Is that right? Do you think we're any closer to this fortress at all, Tantilus? Well, I have to be honest, Mr. Wizard, I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure that we're not too far away from it. But as I said, I wasn't entirely sure how long it would take to get there. Only that it would take quite a while. But don't worry, we'll make sure that we get there. And just to be safe, we will stay here tonight and I will take first watch, just to make sure we're safe from any kind of attacks from vegetable mutants, just in case. That's fine. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. I understand that we've got to make camp here. That's no problem at all. Yeah, I mean that's fine. Just wondering how long it's going to take to get to this fortress of yours that you're talking about. That's all. Seems it's a lot longer than you actually thought, isn't it? Isn't that correct? Yes, it would seem that is the case, Mr. Wizard. I do apologise for delaying you further, but we will get there as soon as we possibly can. It's quite all right, Tantilus. I don't really mind. I mean, it's fine. I'm more than happy to wait to help come with you for the whole of the journey and however long it takes us to find your sister. It's really important that we do find her, because that must be such a burden for you and such a worry for you, not knowing where she is and how safe she is and who's got her. It must be awful for you. Indeed it is, Kendrick the coffee maker. I thank you very much for your concern, and I do appreciate it very much. And as I say, I do apologise for keeping you both here longer than expected. But if the three of us can stay safe together tonight, which I'm sure we will do, we are three strong men that can look after ourselves and each other, we should be fine. Indeed, yes, we'll be just fine. I'm quite happy to sleep here on the rough. That's no problem at all. I've done it many times, in fact. As it happens, I actually know a spell where I can actually make a tent appear, and we can use the tent to sleep in tonight, and it's quite surprising. It's a magic tent, so you go inside it, and as you can imagine, there's lots of stuff going on inside it, and it's also much bigger than you think, so we can get that tent set up, and yes, indeed, we'll sleep in that tonight. That's not a problem at all, indeed. Is that okay with you, Kendrick? Oh, that's fine, Mr. Wizard. I don't really mind at all. I've never really slept rough before in my life, so this is all a brand new adventure for me. I'm really enjoying it. I've never done anything quite like this in my life before. It's quite exciting, really. Well, yes, we don't obviously don't remember. It's not that. We're not that much of a holiday. We're not on a holiday. We're not on a special trip. We're on a dangerous mission here, rescuing someone that's very important. So we have to make sure that they're safe. So yes, indeed, it's very, very important that we rescue them and not treat this as like a field trip or a holiday. So that's fine. Oh, I do understand, Mr. Wizard. I understand it's a very dangerous mission that we are on, and that we need to be very, very careful to protect ourselves from whatever's out there, particularly these mutant vegetable people. They sound really nasty, so it's a good thing that we've got all swords and are together so that we can look after each other and protect each other and have a nice tent to keep ourselves protected from them as well. That's a good idea, Mr. Wizard. Yes, indeed. I think so too. So we'll get that tent set up, and I'll set that spell up and get that tent set up for you. That'll be fine. Well then, good night, Tantilus. Thanks for watching us while we sleep, Tantilus. And when you finish your watch, just don't hesitate to wake us up, and I'll take over and do the next watch. That's fine, no problem at all. I'll just sleep now and get some rest now. So I'll see you a bit later on, Tantilus. And good night, Mr. Wizard. All right, young Kendrick. So yes, you get yourself some rest now, because you've got to take next watch. After Tantilus comes off, and then after that, it'll be down to me to go and watch. So yes, you get some sleep now, and I'll see you in the morning, or when we change watches later on tonight. Okay then, Kendrick. Okay, Mr. Wizard. That's fine. I will see you later. Good night now. Good night to the two of you. Sleep well. I will wake you in about 4 hours, Kendrick, when it's time for you to take over watch. Is that okay? Yes, that's fine, Tantilus. I'll see you in 4 hours. Then once your watch is over, that's fine. And hope everything's okay out there and safe out there for us. No problem, Kendrick the coffee maker. I'm sure it will be fine. Good night now, and good night to you too, Sir Wizard. Good night, Tantilus, and keep safe, and hopefully nothing too bad will come along and disturb you while you're on watch. Yes, and your bed here in the tent is ready for when you do come off and sleep. Okay, no problem then. Yes, speak to you a bit. See you a bit later on. But while Tantilus was standing vigil and standing strong and standing firm and keeping his eyes out all around him from any possible threats, the thing he didn't notice was just behind him, up in one of the trees in the forest, there was a strange white furry figure watching him. It had a blue face and blue hands and was brandishing a club. But it didn't seem to want to come down and attack anybody. It just seemed to be very, very curious. And it looked down upon Tantilus as he stood guard, watching out the camp for any vegetable mutant people, while the Wizard and Kendrick were sound asleep in the tent. In 4 hours' time, Kendrick would come on watch, and the question is, would Kendrick see the little strange white figure in the trees? But what Kendrick wouldn't know, that in 4 hours' time, when he's on watch, that white little creature was going to change his life in a way he could never have imagined. Never in his million years. That's coming soon in part 2. Meanwhile, the creature in the trees has this to say, which roughly translated means, stay tuned for part 2.